So today we talking about the 9 to 5, the rat race, the money trap. Let's get into it. What's y'all thoughts on the 9 to 5 and the money traps that's happening in the world right now? I feel like it's a lot of people that's not living meaningful, fulfilled lives because they are working 9 to 5s, or they are miserable working 9 to 5. So what's your thoughts on that? What's your perspectives on that?
I mean, it all depends on the mindset of the person. I mean, you might be conformed to a 9 to 5 mindset, and it might work for you. Then you got other people that, wake up, drag themselves out of bed every morning, drag themselves to work, be there miserable from the 9 to 5, and then it's a cycle all over again. And then you have those might be the people that live for the weekends, and then Monday roll back around, and back to the same old copy and paste, repeat process again. So it all depends on the mindset of the person. Some people might enjoy their 9 to 5. Some people might hate their 9 to 5. Some people might love being an entrepreneur. Some people might not even enjoy being an entrepreneur. It's all about the mindset of the person.
I got it. My perspective is, what's the end goal? And with that, do you really benefit from a 9 to 5? Are there any real benefits to the worker versus the employer?
Security.
But is it really secure? The economy just shut down. The whole globe just shut down for a year, a little over a year,
Mm-hmm.
So I can't even say that, it's secure any longer.
I feel as though that the 9 to 5s are, I'm not sure they'll become outdated per se, but I do think that it's a threat to them, because I think more people are getting educated financially. I think more people are knowing what their worth is and valuing their worth, and I think it's a lot of, I really think it's a wake-up call to a lot of people over the last year for determining what matters to them. And this full disclaimer, this is not a 9 to 5 video bashing session. It's a lot of good things that can come from a 9 to 5. It's a lot of good things that can come from working a regular job. So make no mistake about it, this isn't a judgment zone, but I think it's a ton of people out here that are affected by these 9 to 5s mentally, and I think my next question would be, what does a 9 to 5 do to people psychologically?
It makes them conformed in a box type of thinking, because the most important thing in life is time. How you spend time. If you spend 8 hours of the day at a job, then you spend another 8 hours of the day sleep. I mean, half the day is gone right there.
More than half.
Right. So, a person, if you work at McDonald's, you would hate being there. If you have an office job and you don't like being there, that feel like you're wasting your time, and you're also wasting time. So then that psychologically, that brings you in sort of a depression mode.
Society has been fed this narrative of, go to school, get an education, find a career, buy your house, retire, and, live off of Social Security or your pension. And I believe that narrative is extinct. I don't believe, we see people working in Walmart past 70 years old. So the American dream, so to speak, this is what we've been given, is I think extinct from that perspective / narrative that's been fed.
I definitely think it's a false narrative out there. I definitely think it's a funnel that society and regular civilization is being funneled through with that American dream, job, school narrative, without embracing other ideologies and other beliefs and other perspectives. So I think it needs to be a deeper conversation as far as, because when you're and this may be a good example for you, Antwain. When you're working a 9 to 5, but you really don't want to go, you may call out some days, may get up late, whatever the case may be. You can be looked at as lazy, not a hard worker, and that could be totally the opposite for who you really is. You are a hard worker, you are dedicated, you are driven, but you just haven't lived through your passions yet. You get it? So once you started to, we see the results. So I think it's a deeper conversation that needs to be had on a really a global level, a global level. But Antonio, you was talking about it can be depressing. What do you think this mental health crisis that we're seeing a lot in the United States and around the world, what would you say? I mean, would you say the 9 to 5 contributes to that?
Yeah, especially in this day and age, like during this time, since COVID and everything. Like, you might have enjoyed your 9 to 5. You might have been one of the people that really love doing your job, but then COVID comes along. Now you gotta not only worry about doing your job, you gotta worry about being safe, not getting sick, taking that home to your family. That's depressing in itself, and that can conflict with the work that you have to do at your job. So yeah, it plays a role mentally for people that work 9 to 5, especially during the COVID era.
Right. Did you have anything to add?
No, it's just I think you bring up a good point about spike in statistical cases of mental health, and how the job market plays has an intricate role in that spike.
Let me ask y'all this: if it's such a health, I don't want to say risk, but for lack of a better word, risk, right? If it's such a health risk or concern, when you got COVID issues, when you got mental health issues, being correlated with working regular jobs or any job, you could say. Why do you think people put their health at risk for these companies and for these regular jobs, on the COVID side or on the mental health side, however you want to look at it?
I think society has been trained to survive. From a survival aspect, people believe, people depend on these paychecks to get them from one week to the next, and even through the month until, the rent rolls around, gas and electric, food, and their everyday needs. So, that's my issue with the 9 to 5 market. And it being so conformative and not innovative from the standpoint of getting the most value out of an individual. I think society would do well to identify the value in people and how we can extract that real value into the marketplace.
So I want to go here real quick. You know, moving forward, how can people, you know, gain back their time? Binky, you mentioned if I go to sleep 8 hours, if I work 8 hours, I got 8 hours in a day, right?
Right.
Basically. How can people gain back their time? I got a saying where, to me, the ultimate luxury, or the purest luxury, is owning your own time. Mm-hmm. So how do people receive? I mean, how do people gain ownership of their own time? Either one.
See, that's an interesting question, because again, I think that society has been coerced into believing that it's one way, as far as the American dream model that we've been given. We haven't been taught to look at different options to create revenue streams. And in doing so, I think that if we look at those different options, we'll find, that it's other ways to gain back our time, because we can support ourselves through other revenue streams.
Mm-hmm.
I feel as though, like, once people learn other ways of adding income to themselves, it'll be a lot more easy to transition from the 9-to-5 type of mindset to a entrepreneur type of mindset. Because you got a lot of people, I can ask anybody walking down the street, hey, do you invest? They'll probably say no.
Right.
When are you going to start investing? I don't know what to invest in. But if you knew what to invest in, or knew how to grow your income outside of a 9-to-5, then a lot of people wouldn't be trapped in that 9-to-5 mindset.
I think the key to providing for yourself is education. Education. If nobody's saying, and I'm definitely not saying, go quit your job. I'm not an advocate for that, right? I think you need something to give you a foundation. But while you have that foundation right now, while you have those, let's say, 8 hours, those extra 8 hours that you got needs to be put into educating yourself to then apply that education to getting other streams of income, and the other streams of income will provide you a better future to own your own time.
Also, we got people have different skill sets. So, people do what some would term as a side hustle. It's different opportunities out here.
Right.
To create revenue streams to provide for yourself. You asked. I just think that we're so distracted by the need to survive that it clouds our creative thinking skills.
I agree. Because you see these, you go on Instagram or Facebook or Twitter or whatever, and you see this type of lifestyle, and you start comparing it to your own.
Right.
And you're working a 9-to-5. That whatever you see on social media, you start comparing it, like, how can I get that? How can I get to that level? Then you start looking at your 9-to-5. Well, I only make this. I can't do that. Then you start dreading where you work. Then you get trapped in that mindset of, I need a better life, or I need to up my game, but then you don't know how. So then you're trapped back in that, I hate my job. Because that's the only thing you really know. But then you're seeing all these other things around you that's influencing your mind.
I I got a question. I don't want to go away from your question.
No, you good.
Would you say, because you used the term just now, Antonio, trap. Would you say that the 9 to 5 is a trap?
I mean, that goes back to what I said in the first segment. It depends on the mindset of the person.
Okay.
It depends on the mindset of the person. I mean, you might enjoy your 9 to 5, and you might not let outside influences influence what you got going on.
Mm-hmm.
But then the majority of people get influenced by what they see, and then they start comparing 1 and 2, and then they get in that trap mindset.
Mm-hmm. What you think, Datwan?
What's the question again?
Would you say that a 9 to 5 is a trap? The American dream.
I think, yes. I honestly do, because I don't think it provides you. I don't think it provides you freedom. And in this world, we all want to be free.
Mm-hmm.
So at the end of the day, if something's not providing you a level of freedom, then it's a trap.
And I just want to, I agree with you 100%. Only because, well, not only because, but to feed this ideology that, you know, you work for 40 years and then you can retire when, you know, lifespan, you know, statistically, you know, lifespan doesn't match, you know, that 65, not for everybody, but, you know, working for 40 years and then being able to retire at the age of 65. Some people don't make it to that age, but even furthermore, I think that after working for 40 years, how much life do you have left to live after retirement? Is it 5 years? Do you live from 65 to 70? Do you live 10 years from 65 to 75, even 80? You know, statistically, you know, if I'm only living 7 to 10 years after I retire, then I feel like I just existed for 40 years while I worked. So I that's why I believe that it's a trap.
So we got trap, and what's your answer?
Not the same leaning towards trap.
Okay. Let's just play the one word game real quick. I'ma include you too. When you think about your days at the 9 to 5, one word.
Frustrated.
He over there thinking hard.
Come back.
Okay. Antwain.
Hungry. Manipulated.
So we got
frustrated, manipulated,
hungry, suppressed.
That's a big ass word.
That's a big ass word. Welcome to the new age.